What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome to Playoff Basketball. It is time for another live stream here on the Betting Pros YouTube channel. He is Terrell, Furman. I'm Matt Perrault. 30 minutes. We're going to do all four games. The play-in tournament has arrived. We are here, and we got picks, plays, and thoughts to break down coming up here today. Before we get to any of that, let me tell you about our friends at FanDuel. If you guys are looking around for a place to place your wagers, you guys can boost your bets with FanDuel. New FanDuel customers can get $5 to win $250 in bonus bets if your first bet hits. Just head on over to bettingpros.com/FanDuel to get started. That's bettingpros.com/FanDuel and make your plays on FanDuel today. All right, Terrell, overall, how do you feel about the play-in tournament? Are you a fan or are you not a fan?
Well, I just wish that just like the stats for the play-in tournament, if I lost my bet, it just doesn't count. That would be amazing if that was the case here. No, I actually kind of like it. I really do. It's grown on me, and I've seen some pretty good games in the play-in tournament. We've seen teams come out of the 9-10 game and be able to make the actual playoffs. So, I don't think it's bad. This year, there may not be, some games that are all that good, but I don't think it's bad. I'm pretty good with the play-in tournament.
I like it a lot because it feels a lot like the NCAA tournament because we have a standalone Tuesday and a standalone Wednesday where there's nothing really to talk about. The NHL playoffs have not started. It's just Major League Baseball. And I'll take playoff basketball over Major League Baseball regular season because, okay, the 7 seeds and the 8 seeds tonight know that if they lose, they're playing one more game coming up on Friday. So their year is not over. I'll give that to you. But I do think it's pretty neat that you have a chance to win and get in tonight. If you win, you take on the 2-seeded Celtics or the 2-seeded Rockets coming up in the playoffs. So I like it. I think this is one of the things where Adam Silver has done a really good job. I'm actually a fan of this. There's some other things I don't like the international games, but I do like this a lot from a bracket standpoint and interest standpoint, and it adds 2 more teams into the potential pool for playoffs. It makes the regular season more interesting. So I like it a lot. I think it's going to be fun to see how this whole thing gets to play out. Let me ask you one more question before we get to the games tonight, 2 of them and 2 tomorrow for the 9-10. Where are you on the LA Clippers? Because the number I got plus 135 against the Nuggets.
That's what you got? Hold on. Let me tell you. What did I get? I think I got better than you. I might have gotten better.
On the Nuggets series or then win the West?
On the Nuggets series.
Ooh, good for you.
You got plus 135?
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. I have to let's go into the private stock here. This is I went the extra mile. I realized I didn't take the money line. I went the extra mile. I played minus 1.5 games plus 255.
Oh my. The Clippers minus a game and a half?
Oh, I can tell you the script. I 100% know the script here. Okay. Oh, Denver's going down 3-1.
Have you seen what the number is today?
What's the number?
Minus 115 for the Clippers.
Are you serious? No, I saw that it was a pick 'em. That's the last that I saw. I saw minus 106. Is that everywhere? No.
At most books, you're going to find that the Clippers are favored. That you're laying juice. You're laying juice on this. So we know some friends here in Vegas who have 6 figures on the Clippers to not just win this series, but to win the West. And there's been some big movement, some big money players here in Vegas who are all over the Clippers, who are 18-3 over their last 21 games. They won their last game up against the Warriors to keep themselves out of the play-in tournament and push the Warriors into the play-in tournament. Can the Clippers win the West? They're 15-1 to win the West.
100%. 100% can win the West. And I think that there's, of course, some matchups that I don't necessarily like, and I think that they'd have some issues with. But as of right now, looking at the team, Ty Lue's figured it out, and he's activated Kawhi Leonard, man. I didn't know that Kawhi could actually hit this level of 2019 coming off of major injuries.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard has been beat up over the course of the season, and he looks like 2019 Kawhi Leonard out there again, doing magical things with the basketball, and I just can't wait to see a playoff run. Now, again, he has to stay durable. We have seen Kawhi Leonard go down in the playoffs, and that really tanked the Clippers season, and I bet those guys would be really, really upset then. But if you're telling me the only thing that I have the concern about is the health of the Clippers and everything else is right, Norman Powell is amazing. James Harden has turned back the clock, and we've gotten a bench bench that is deep and is willing to go out there and play. Outside of Bogdanovich being a cone on defense, this team is amazing. Like, oh, I've been so out on the Clippers, and they really, really had me disgusted with them during the season. But Kawhi Leonard single-handedly turned that around for me.
Number one team on paper defensively over the last 2 months of the regular season for the Clippers, and an 18-3 record is an 18-3 record. So like that is a very impressive throwing of the switch by LA here going up against the Denver Nuggets. Nobody, and I mean nobody, wants to bet the Denver Nuggets to win. The Westgate here in Vegas. So we talked to Jeff Sherman at Golf Odds on Twitter on my other show on Bostonian versus the Book. He now has the Clippers at -125 to win this series.
I was shocked to see Denver open up as a favorite in the series. I bet it immediately. 1.5 games. Immediately. I legit, I don't think it's aggressive at all.
No,
this is not a 7-game series. These two teams are going completely opposite directions. The Denver Nuggets have no idea who their identity is as a team now. Yeah. They have no cohesion. They don't want to use Russell Westbrook. And the thing about Russell Westbrook is you have to use him for it to actually be good. Because if you just try to throw him across to the wayside and say, hey, just come in little spurts and play good minutes for us here or there, he's not going to be good. He has to be volume out there in reps doing it. And if you don't play him right, he's going to be horrible. Mike Malone had it figured out. Mike Malone gave him a special treatment. And then everybody else said no.
And ownership didn't like the special treatment. Ownership thought, hey, the Kroenkes came in and said, hey, we're going to make a move. And we'd rather go with the head assistant coach because his dad's a good coach. So that means David Alderman's going to be a good coach because Rick Alderman was a good coach. Sure. Love the logic by the Kroenke family.
6 games max. I'm telling you, Matt, I would not be surprised if they get only 1.
I don't mind that play. I'm already on money line, but I got +135, but I may throw a little sprinkle on your bet. I +255.
What's the harm? I mean, a 7-game series means that this was back and forth. I don't think this is back and forth at all. I think maybe we'll have competitive games, but at the end of the game, one team can play defense and the other lets anybody get free lanes to the basket.
Yeah, and Denver's home record this year is a far cry from what it used to be. I mean, Denver used to have a dynamic, they lose probably 6 or 7 games all year, and they lost twice as much of that this year in Denver. So the mile high type of home court advantage is not there like it used to be. And what do you do in the non-Jokic minutes? I mean, obviously you have Jokic, you got the best center arguably of all time. What do you do in those minutes when he's on the bench? And I think that's where the Clippers really will attack. They're deeper. I think they've got more of a defensive cohesion, like you talked about, that I think will really translate to a 7-game series. And then what do you do when the Clippers lock you down? I don't know if Denver has an answer. I don't think they're going to have an answer. So, yep. All right. We're both on the same eye. So that's good. If you guys haven't jumped on that and you find a plus money play, I would do so.
Play it immediately.
If you don't like money line, you can play and get plus. I guarantee you can get plus money on if you want to lay the 1.5 games on an alt spread. FanDuel and DraftKings and most major books have those opportunities for you guys if you want to jump onto those things for alt spreads. But Clippers by 1.5, meaning they win it in 6. Not crazy there. Okay, let's get to tonight. First game is Atlanta at Orlando. This number opened up at 218.5 from a total perspective. It was bet all the way down to 217, where it is now rebounded back up to 219. The total has gone from, the side's gone from Orlando to -5 to now Orlando -6. So money on Orlando coming in here, which is a little bit weird to me, Terrell. I got to be honest, because I correlate Orlando in the under and Atlanta in the over. So if I'm going to take the Hawks tonight, I think the over is the play. I'm surprised to see this being different where the total is going up, but we're seeing a heavier side on the Magic. Where are you tonight? I don't have a play on the side, just on the total, but where are you on Atlanta and Orlando?
I think it's really just the fact that the last 2 times that these two teams played in a meaningful game, it was a 230 points scored. So the Atlanta Hawks can give up a bunch of points. And I think that's what people are thinking. And that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how the Atlanta Hawks are going to stop Paolo Banchero. They haven't been able to do it all season. He's walked into 30 points every single game. I don't know how they're going to slow down Franz Wagner when he's activated. He's been amazing for this Magic offense, who are now they're getting into playoff basketball, quote unquote. We're still in playing, but still they're getting to that part of the season where, hey, we're not just about to sit here and play around with the basketball anymore. We're getting into our top 2 guys, and they are going to go in. They're going to do work. Now, I am concerned about the Magic bench, but the Magic have been by far the better team, 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games. Atlanta Hawks are 4-6. In those 10 games, either one of these two teams could have gotten themselves out of this position. And the Magic played the games, put themselves in a good position to be the 7th seed. The Hawks continue to fall, and could never really get any traction. So I just can't get into betting the Hawks because of that. But I also am terrified of betting against the Hawks in the play-in because we've seen that story happen plenty of times before. They've gotten up for a game and found themselves a way into the playoffs. So if I played anything, it would be the Magic, and I would play them in a win margin. Give me a 1-10 win margin here of the Magic. It saves me from a close cover by the Hawks because I really don't think the Hawks are going to win this game at all. But I know the Magic offensively just don't have it gifted enough for them to be able to go and score enough to pull away from the Hawks because the Hawks are going to do their fair share of scoring here. So I like the Magic 1-10, and I like the Stars. I like Paolo Banchero to score a bunch of points. I like Franz Wagner to score a bunch of points, and that's how I'm going to play that. I'm not even going to play the team total for the Magic. I'm just going to play those two players because if those two guys aren't on, the Magic aren't hitting that team total.
Fair. The reason why I think the under is in play with these teams is I think pace of play is going to be, I think Orlando takes the air out of the ball in this game. I don't think that they want to give the Hawks the possessions that they're going to need because Atlanta doesn't play defense like we know. They want to run up and down. And if Orlando gets into that type of game, I think that plays directly into allowing Trae Young and company to go off and hit a bunch of threes and go up tempo and just get easy looks in transition. And I don't think they want to do that. So I think we turn this down. And I also think there's a blowout potential here. That's why I'm a little concerned about yours because I think Orlando might very well win this game like 110-100 and just wind up having this thing fall 210. So like there is a double digit idea. So I love the idea of taking the Magic money line and pairing it up with something that you tonight that you like, some other game that makes sense to you from a money line perspective, and don't fool around with the spread. Or, and this is probably how I'm going to play it, I'm going to wait in game and try to get a lower number on the Magic. Under 5. If I get 4, if I get 3, I love Orlando. I don't really like it at 6. Circus Sports just went to 6 here in Vegas. So if you're curious where the professional money is coming in late, there's a late move on the Magic. I think that's the right side. I think the Magic are going to win today. I as a Celtics fan, I don't care. I don't care who winds up coming out of this game. It doesn't really matter. I'm not afraid of either one of these teams going and taking on Boston, but I would prefer Atlanta just because I think they're an easier matchup for Boston than Orlando is. But I think this is a very young and fun team for Orlando. I'll take the Magic. If you had to bet it over or under 219, which would you take?
That Hawks and under sounds ugly, but those play-in unders are legit, man.
Yeah.
Like the unders have been really, really good in the play-in, and I respect it. Like I respect a really good trend, and I think that this is definitely a lane where this is the slow pace game where the Magic are just able to ugly this thing up, and maybe the Magic offense doesn't get going. Like I really questionable about their offense outside of 2 players, so that's why I only bet those 2 players to be able to do something today. So yeah,
right.
And these games are really competitive all the time. I mean, 3 matchups this season: Hawks by 6, Magic by 6, Magic by 7. So I think that we could see a little bit more competitive, lower scoring matchup in this one.
Yeah, so I play the under 217. You can play a better number than I played. You can play 219, so you get a full bucket better than what I played for Orlando and Atlanta tonight. Into the West we go, and this game is going to be fun. Memphis and Golden State. Number has been pretty much 7, although some books did touch 7.5 earlier today. Under in this game has been the play. Opened up at 232. We're down to 227 now for Memphis and Golden State. I have a strategy as to how I'm playing this. I'm not necessarily projecting or picking this, but I'm taking the points pregame, Terrell, because I want Golden State in game, and I'm going to try to middle this. I think the Warriors win, but I'm not sure the Warriors cover. So I want -1, pick them somewhere in that range. So I'm taking +7 pre-flop, but I'm not really projecting that the Warriors are going to cover this.
No, I really, really like that play. I gave out on my show earlier, Memphis first half, Warriors win the game. I think this is completely a game like that, where Memphis, hey, they do get up for the Warriors. Like they do like playing this team. I could see Ja Morant and this team hitting the flurry early on. I've seen them in that Timberwolves game just a few days ago, really give it to the Timberwolves and the Nuggets too. But then the second half comes, the bell rings, and you realize, oh, I have 20 more minutes to go of this. No, 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 no. I mean, look at the Grizzlies recently
Mhm.
and what they've done. They have not beaten a playoff team in the West since January 30th in a 120 to 119 win against the Rockets. Every single game they played against anybody that was a playoff team in the West, they have not covered 7 points. They have blown this lead. I saw the 52-point quarter firsthand that they gave up to the Timberwolves in the third quarter to effectively lose that game. So yeah, I can't trust them. I like the thought because I agree. I think that Memphis does get up early in this game, and I think you will have an opportunity to bet Golden State lower. I just went ahead and laid the 7 with Golden State anyways. I just can't get behind this Grizzlies team at all. And there's also a rubber possibility where Golden State jumps them from the jump, and this isn't even close at all. So I laid 7 with the Warriors here. And I think Jimmy Butler has a day because Jalen Wells is now hurt with that broken wrist and from that nasty fall, and they got nobody that could guard him.
How healthy is Butler? That's the question, right? That ankle he tweaked late in the season. We'll see what he looks like. Everyone's been wondering. The number tells you he's healthy and tells you he's okay. So it hasn't moved. If he was banged up, I think this number would be much lower, probably 3.5 or 4 if Butler wasn't available, but he looks healthy and good to go. But I'm with you on the fast start. I mean, it could happen. It could, the Warriors at home, this is a very prideful bunch. And remember, once they made the trade for Jimmy Butler, we saw Draymond Green on the set of TNT proclaim we're winning the championship. Well, they're in the play-in game. So good luck doing that. But that's how their mentality was when they got Butler. So they should have a very focused effort tonight up against Memphis. I just need them to not get out to like a rocket start. Like just get me Memphis to the end of the first quarter, Memphis tied or Memphis even up after the first quarter. And then I should get a better number than 7, trying to thread the needle and take Memphis, take a Golden State -1, -2, somewhere in that range. Before we get to the games tomorrow, 2 of them, Miami, Chicago, and Dallas and Sacramento. Terrell, tell the folks about fast break bets and what they'll get when they watch it.
Oh, well, if you're listening and you're joining us now, you're getting to a great part of the season because the WNBA is back next month. And every single day, I am getting notifications. Hey, when are you talking about W? When are you talking about W? Do a season preview. Do this, do that, do this. Y'all are actually very, very, very aggressive with it, but I love it because I love the league. So we're definitely going to get into a bunch of that soon, talking about a bunch of futures, season previews, and WNBA and all of basketball, getting us through this summer.
Very good. We go to tomorrow, Miami on the road at Chicago. The number is 1. It's been pretty much staple there for 24, 48 hours. Total is way down. 24.5 at open. We're down to 219
for good reason
on this.
Good reason.
Terrell, I like Chicago. I bet the Bulls over season win totals. That came in this year. I've been on this Bulls team, and we know that Josh Giddey announced today he is playing here for the Bulls. I like Chicago. Where are you in this game?
Kudos to you for being on Chicago with the previous rendition of that team. I hated that team, and I completely faded that team. And maybe that was part of your handicap that they were going to blow it up and bring in everybody new and then go on one of the craziest heaters that only the Clippers have outshined. Like this Bulls team has been really, really good. They've been really, really fun to watch. Forget everything about wins and losses. They have just been a fun team to watch with Josh Giddey and Kobe White going crazy every single other night. Revenge spots of all revenge spots here, Matt. Talk about it. The Bulls ain't been to the playoffs since the 2021 season. They have had 2 opportunities to get to the playoff. Well, they've had more opportunities, but they've had 2 opportunities in the play-in to get to the playoffs, and they lost to Miami both times. And now Jimmy Butler's gone. Oh, this is like when everybody was taking shots at the Cavs when LeBron left. And everybody said, I don't care if you're the worst team in the league. We finna beat up on y'all now. We definitely finna beat up on you now. Oh, I think the Bulls are going to run through Miami in this game. Unfortunately, I really hate that this was the draw because I would have liked to see the Bulls and Miami potentially in the playoffs. But no, I don't think Miami has anything for this Bulls. The Bulls are the 4th best defensive rated team at home in the last 10 games. For a Bulls team that was horrible defensively for the majority of the season, they have turned it on defensively in the last 10 games, and that's not a team I'm fading right now.
Amen to that. So you like the under in the game too, even under 219?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. the fact that they have somehow found a way to turn it around and Billy Donovan has gotten them to commit on the defensive side of the ball, especially with Kobe White on the floor, I think that they are 100% for real, and at least this play-in tournament. Like, I think the Bulls are going to run through it and find themselves into that 8 seed.
Yeah, I'm with you because I think Chicago can beat Atlanta. If that's the matchup we get, I think Chicago beats Atlanta, don't you?
Yes. I wonder what's the price for the Bulls to make the playoffs, and if that is either better. Well, is Atlanta favored? I wouldn't make.
Well, they'll be
Atlanta
at home.
Favored.
Atlanta will be at home.
I
that's
would still
possible.
make it. I would make it around a pick.
The Bulls are plus 410 to make the playoffs right now. You know what? That's a good bet.
Yeah,
that's a good bet.
Yeah,
that's a better price than you're going to get the money line on Friday.
Because I would make it around a pick.
Yeah, that's a good bet. If you guys if you like what we're saying, that's a good play to go make it FanDuel to go take that at plus 410. And I'm sure other books have it as well. But the Bulls to make the playoffs, that's winning tomorrow night and then winning on Friday. And then they're in the playoffs. Remember, this is not in the playoffs. This is the play-in. So we're not into the bracket. You got to win 2 games if you are the Bulls. Anybody playing tomorrow night, you got to win 2 games to get into the bracket. But I think Chicago's got a really good shot of doing that. They'll be on the road, but they got a really good shot of beating Atlanta in Atlanta to make the playoffs. And again, that's a better price than what you're going to get on Friday night from a money line perspective. Because I think you're right. The number is 1, maybe a pick for Atlanta, Chicago. It's not going to be that big of a number.
If they give me any more, I'm hammering Bulls money line.
Yeah, fair. I'm with you. Yeah, I like that play to take that. And then finally, Dallas and Sacramento. I've been out on Dallas. You know, it's been a really hard year for them. I think it's time for them to go and play golf and go to Cancun. Sacramento number opened at 5, is bet down to 4.5 where it stopped. I don't really know why the first move was to Dallas, but I'm laying the points with Sacramento. Where are you on Kings Mavs?
Oh, I'll tell you why it was to Dallas. It's because the Kings are the 29th ranked defensive team at home in the last 10 games. In the critical last 10 games that would have defined their season and whether they make the playoffs, they were 29th best at home. You're telling me of the Hornets, the 76ers, the Pelicans, the Jazz, and the Wizards, only one of those teams were worse than them at home in that span? Yeah, more power to you. I'm not putting any money near the Kings at all. That is not anything I want to back.
Light the beam. Let's go.
Light the beam. They haven't been clearly. They ain't been lighting anything over there. No, I'm so good. I think that I could see a royal possibility where Anthony Davis has some monster game and says, "Hey, I'm gonna at least get us somewhere. Like we're gonna get something out of this season." And so I potentially think that they could go out there and have a game. I'm not on the Kings at all.
On the road in a tough environment. I'm with you on the defense. I mean, I think the over is a decent play, but the number is completely cratered. It opened up 223. It's now 215.5. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is, if you follow just the professional money, we're going over tonight in Atlanta, Orlando, under in Memphis, Golden State, under in Miami, Chicago, and under in Dallas and Sacramento from the opening number. I mean, you talked about it, play-in game unders. It is weird to see that there's 3 games where there's total movement, and yet tonight for Atlanta and Orlando, a top 5 defensive team in the NBA, that's the game that's going over?
Yeah, no idea. No idea. But shout out to producer Seth in the back talking about how Levine stays losing. He was also on those Bulls teams that lost to Miami. I'm so locked into the Bulls. Like they've cut the cancer out of that organization, and now they're actually playing solid basketball.
Well, Giddey's been phenomenal this year. I mean, you know, if you've been following both of us, the prop bet cheat sheet has been in love with Josh Giddey for most of the year.
And I've been playing him all.
So Josh Giddey's been one of those guys where every night when looking at the Bulls playing, Giddey's props are all up there. And the prop bet cheat sheet's been saying they've been too low for a while. So even though it really, really stresses unders, it does do well with overs. And Giddey's been one of the guys who's done well from an over perspective.
And that's betting on yourself too, man. He told OKC, like, hey, I want the ball in my hands more. Like, I understand SGA is this great player and all that, but like, I want the ball in my hands more. I can affect the team and I can do all of these things with the basketball, but you got to give me the ball more or send me off somewhere else where I can do that. He went to Chicago and did just that.
Before we wrap here, let me ask you one more quick question about a series that we'll be talking about next Tuesday when we get back together here for this show. The Lakers have received basically 95% of the money at every single book. Now, I don't believe in bets. Bet slips mean nothing to me. I don't care what books produce and what they send out because it's all garbage. But it is, I think, a consistent theme you can follow that everyone believes the Lakers will beat the Timberwolves. Do you?
God, I've played 1.5 games already. I don't think this is close. Looking for revenge. Luka is play any series long Luka probably hits in this series. Like, I think that they're a good team, and I think this is going to be a competitive game for 3 quarters. I really, really do. But at the end of the day, the fourth quarter starts. One side has Luka Doncic and LeBron James. The other side has Chris Finch, who has yet to finally draw up a good play for Anthony Edwards in the fourth quarter. And instead, he decides to just sit his butt on the bench and say, hey, Anthony Edwards, please go try to win the game for us. And Ant is out there getting double team, triple team with no help, and he has no adjustments. So I don't trust the Timberwolves late in games. I told my constituents, hey, if you hear me betting the Timberwolves, please say something to me, because I clearly forgot what happened when they blew that 24-point lead to the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm completely out on Minnesota. I think they're going to Cancun.
Even with Ant scoring 43 and nearly having a triple double.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm staying away from this series because the fact that the public and everyone is so heavily onto the Lakers, and the fact that I like the Clippers to win the West, I'm not going to chase here. I'm going to watch. I may bet individual games, but I'm going to watch game 1 to see, because Anthony Edwards could go crazy in this series. You talk about Luka props. Well, is Ant going to go and take over and say, this is my time up against LeBron? It's guard against guard. I'm very curious to see about how, and you're right, late game situations, but it is JJ Redick. We haven't seen JJ in the playoffs before, so let's see what JJ's like when it comes to
JJ's credit. He's coached a pretty good defense over the course of the year. For you to be able to trade a top 3 defensive player in the league, and then for a span in the season, they were the number 1 defense after that trade. Like, they all had figured it out. Everybody rotated. Jared Vanderbilt was getting minutes, and he stayed healthy, and they really, really got better defensively. LeBron locked in as well, and it wasn't until LeBron's injury where they kind of fell off defensively, and then when LeBron came back, they slowly worked themselves back. I just don't know how much Ant can do. I am Anthony Edwards fan up and down, but he can't do it all here. I think it's going to be ugly. I think that the games are going to be close, and when you think about the series, it's going to be like, oh, that was a really, really competitive series, and then we're going to look up and it's 4-1 and it's over.
Well, again, I'm watching it. I don't think you're wrong, but I'm very afraid of the group think going on about everyone just assumes the T-Wolves are dead. And I'm like, okay, nobody wants to even give them a shot, even at plus money, and decent plus money at that, with them not just in game 1, but for the series as well. So if you guys want to follow along, you know about fast break bets. You guys can do the same thing with the Daily Juice. I don't just do basketball, but I do a lot of stuff every single day, 365 days. Reminder that the Daily Juice, for the first time in 5 years, will go dark. I'm leaving the country for a week, so there will be a week with no Daily Juice starting. I'll give you guys all the details on that, but basically the last week of April, halfway into the first week of May, I won't be in the country, so we'll go dark with the Daily Juice, but you'll get it right when I come back each and every night in your inbox, first thing in the morning, 15 minutes, picks, plays, and thoughts, and everything happening in the sports world. If you have not subscribed on audio, go do so. Do the same thing with the Betting Pros YouTube channel. Terrell and I give away tons of fun stuff every day here. Him Monday through Friday, me 7 days a week for the Daily Juice podcast. All right, in closing, let's talk plays and picks. What do you like to give out? What are we doing here, Terrell?
All right, Golden State lay at 7. I even with them being up in the first half, as I project, Golden State's still going to go on a run in the second half, and Memphis isn't going to have a response there. But I do also like Jimmy Butler to go over 21.5 points tonight. And then I'm playing both of the stars for the Magic because I think they are going to be the entire offense, and they're going to be able to get it done. I think both of them can actually have a 30-point game, so that would be interesting. Give me Paolo Banchero over 30.5 points and Franz Wagner over 25.5 points.
Beautiful stuff. I am on the other side of Memphis, but I'm not projecting it in the same way. I want an in-game bet, so I'm trying to do a middle. I'm making 2 bets. I'm taking Memphis +7 pre-flop, and then I'm betting Golden State coming back, hopefully at -1 a pick, maybe even +1, depending on how fast of a start Memphis gets out from. I think Terrell and I both agreed that Memphis has a good first quarter, so there should be some prices there, better than 7 for the Golden State Warriors. Hopefully Golden State wins the game by 3 or 4. Terrell wants more than that, obviously laying the 7, but I'm trying to middle it with Memphis and Golden State. I'm on the under. The world's on the over for Magic in Atlanta. I'm under 217. You can get 219 now. That's the opening number. It was bet down to 217 last night. The first move was to the under, but that could have been a head fake trying to get this thing down to come back and hammer it to the over. So it's 219. You can get a better number. I think that Magic could win this game by double digits and really put a hurting on Atlanta's offense. Slow tempo, not letting the Hawks get off and go crazy. I think a game in the low hundreds here for these two teams, but I'm taking the under 217. And then tomorrow, we both like Chicago. I like the Bulls all over a team that in the Heat that without Jimmy Butler, they lost their killer for the postseason. I like the Bulls. And then I think the Kings minus 4.5. Terrell's on their side. I like Sacramento to protect home court. I don't like Dallas. I don't like what they've become. Dallas and Denver are the two teams that made major head-scratching decisions. I'm fading them both. You fire Michael Malone 3 days before the playoffs. Didn't understand why you did that. And obviously the Luka trade. I think Dallas is 1-2-3 Cancun. They want to go play some golf later on and get away from all the stress and heat of the Luka Doncic trade that they suffered. I'll take the Kings minus 4.5 coming up for tomorrow. Guys, make a note. Next Tuesday, we're back right here, 5:30 Eastern time, breaking down the NBA playoffs throughout the entire NBA postseason. We'll be with you. He's Terrell Furman. I'm Matt Perrault. Next Tuesday, we'll talk to you at 5:30 Eastern for another NBA live stream.